Remember, I would go get a piercing and then not tell my parents, just act like nothing happened. And then eventually at dinner they'd be like, what is that? Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Hi guys, it's Becca. How are you doing? How are you doing? I sound like Louis through. Yeah, today I thought I would film a all about my piercings video, as I do have quite a few piercings. No, I don't have that many, but I do have some that are maybe a bit more unusual, and I get asked quite a few questions about them in my day-to-day life anyway. So I figured there are probably curious little beasties on the internet who would like to know as well. Just gonna throw a disclaimer in there, piercings are obviously not for everybody. Some people find them gross, some people love them. If this video isn't for you, I won't be offended by you clicking out this video. Have a nice day. Sorry that I wasted your time. No, fair enough. But yeah, for those of you who are interested, I hope you enjoy. And let's crack on. So I'll start with showing you my ears. That seems appropriate. Let's get closer and personal. Woo! So this is one of my ears. As you can see, I've got a conch, tragus, second lobe, first lobe. Now, what I used to have on this ear was a rook piercing here and a third lobe. So I will talk about those, don't you worry. Now, looking at my other ear, I've got, this one's maybe a little bit more plain. But again, just my first lobe. Second lobe, had a third lobe, it's gone now, RIP. And then 2 cartilage piercings. Those are my ears. And now I'll show you my belly button. And this is my belly button one. So I have quite a few, 2, 4, 6. 8, 9. I have 9? Yeah, 9 piercings overall. When I was 16, I went on a little piercing spree. So I think I got like 4 in 1 year or something. But I will just talk about them all in chronological order. Okay, here we go. Oh, and I'll also obviously discuss the ones that are no longer on my ears. They didn't make it to adulthood with me. Like most people, I started off with my first lobe. So I got this when I was 4 years old. Super young, in some people's opinion maybe a bit controversial, but I got it because it was part of my mum's culture where she grew up. She's Colombian, and so over there, babies get their ears pierced from, you know, the moment they're out the womb. Okay, that's a bit extreme, I don't think that happens. And so we went over on a family trip. I do remember it because it was quite a big moment for me as a 4-year-old. Obviously I can't really accurately describe how painful it was, but it's your lobe. It's gonna be one of the least painful ear piercings or piercings that there are. I remember feeling though, this was not that bad. And I also remember being super proud of myself because I didn't cry. Okay, that said though, a few months later, once we're back home, my mom wanted to swap my jewels to something else, and then I was screaming and crying, so she didn't manage to get any in. Unfortunately, they closed up. But I got them redone at Claire's Accessorize when I was 7 or 8. Let's do a fun thing. Let's rate pain out of 5, shall we? So pain for lobes, I'm gonna say is a 1. Do bear in mind, everyone has a different pain threshold. I'm one of those weird people that almost likes the sensation of getting a piercing. I know. Anyway, in terms of the jewel that I have in just now, I've already spoken about these because they are my favorite earrings. They're from ACCESSORIZE, I believe, and my sister got me them. I think they're gold plated, so they're good if you are sort of sensitive to like cheaper jewelry. Okay, flash forward to 12-year-old Becca. And funnily enough, again, I was in Colombia when the second piercing happened. So second lobe, honestly I think I remember getting my first lobe done more than my second lobe. But yeah, in Colombia in this jewelry store, and they used a gun. They used the gun the first time as well. I know that's not recommended on cartilage, but I think for lobe it's okay. Yeah, so I got that when I was 12. I felt super cool. However, not gonna lie, this one likes to act up sometimes and it gets mildly irritated, which mildly irritates me, as I've had it for years. Cool, that is 2 out of 9. Next up, we have my cartilage. So I have 2 of these. I got the first one when I was 14 years old. It was just one of those situations where I begged my mum and begged her until she was like, off we went to, what else did we know? Claire's Accessorize. Like I said, cartilage, wouldn't recommend that. I think you're increasing the chances of your cartilage shattering or something. Yeah, so I got that done with a gun. I got it pierced, I remember, with a little stud. In terms of pain, I remember again being pleasantly surprised, so I'm gonna give it 2 out of 5. Not too bad. I think it took a wee while to heal. It's completely fine now. The jewels I have in this ear. So I have a little moon in this one, just a tiny moon stud. I'm not gonna lie, I lost the hoops for these guys, so it's just studs, which is not exciting, but hey ho. So this little moon from ASOS, and then on top, I'm not gonna lie, it's just a clear diamondy stud, and I have no idea where it's from. Okay, so now getting on to maybe the more exciting piercings. Depends what you're here for, really. Next piercing I'm going to talk about is my Rook, which isn't there anymore. I got my Rook pierced when I was 16. So here in the UK, you're legally allowed to go to a piercing place without parental guidance. I think you're obviously not allowed like nipple piercings or genital piercings until you're 18. Shortly after sweet little Becca turned 16, she went and got some piercings without letting her parents know, which was naughty. So I'll insert a picture of my Rook when I had it. I genuinely loved this piercing. There's a reason why. It was the first one I got. So the reason why I took it out was just this ear was getting too busy and I didn't really like it anymore. I still love them on other people. I think they're so cute. So the Rook, I went to a proper piercing tattoo place. They obviously do it with needles. I went to a place in Edinburgh. I'm not gonna say the name of it because honestly I don't recommend it. I've been there, never really had that nice an experience there. I feel like the staff are just a bit rude. Sorry, that's why I'm not gonna say the name because that's not fair. Yeah, so they do it with a needle. They have to do it at quite a weird angle because obviously this bit of your ear, it goes through there, which is kind of hidden inside your ear. Again, I don't know why, I was pleasantly surprised with how, I was gonna say painless it was. It was not painless, just wasn't as painful as everyone had said. And I remember the piercer, the guy who was piercing me, right before he literally said like, he had tons of piercings obviously, and he was like, not gonna lie, the Rook is the worst. I was like, great, yeah, exactly what I want to hear, thank you. Anyway, he does it, and it does like burn a bit, 2 seconds of sharp pain, and then just heat, feels really hot. So I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10. What? A 3 out of 5? Maybe I should have made it out of 10. In terms of healing, it was pretty similar to my cartilage, to be honest. Took a few months. The Rook isn't that hard to change yourself. There are some piercings that are like really difficult and you're probably best going back to the piercing place. Not that you should listen to me. So straight up, not gonna lie, got that done. I went back a week later and got my tragus done. I got this guy done a week later. So the tragus has a reputation, I'd say, as being like one of the worst because that skin there is so thick. And you hear all these horror stories about people hearing it pop, about hearing a crunch. Oh, also this happened to my friend where it literally jewel like grew out of her body. Her body rejected it, but could happen to anyone, you don't know. This is actually the jewel that they used to pierce it with. I have changed it quite a few times since then, just to like silver or gold. Also, every piercer will tell you this, do not change it until it's fully healed. I've broken the rules with that one, most people have. I've been lucky that I haven't had any infections, but of course, if you can avoid changing the jewel, then try your best. So in my experience, I'm going to give the tragus a 3 out of 5 in terms of pain. Really wasn't too bad, and I actually had the best experience with it healing, as in there were no issues. I'll talk about aftercare and everything maybe at the end, just as a general note, rather than talking about each piercing separately, because I just did the same thing for all of them. So then I maybe waited like a few months before I got my next piercing when I was 16. However, the next one was maybe the scarier one. And that is my belly button. I know some people really don't like these ones and they find them a bit weird and gross. I love it. I honestly have zero plans to take it out until I get pregnant or something like that. Also, yes, I am wearing Simba pajamas. Comfy on the bottom, party on the top. Yeah, this is my little piercing. So I've just got a little gold gem in it. This is from ACCESSORIZE. Yeah, I don't have any issues with it. It's completely healed. But it has been with me for now like 4 or 5 years. So for this one, I lay down. She disinfected me, blah, blah, standard procedure for a piercing. And then I remember the initial stab of the needle going through was really like, ooh, yeah, that hurt. But after that, it was completely fine. I think because it goes through so much skin, that's why it did hurt quite a bit. Then they put the jewel through, that was fine, and they put a wee patch on you. Well, this is what happened to me. And then I remember I kept it on all day, and at the end of the day, I had to take it off to clean it, and it was like soaked in blood. I feel like this pain scale is getting kind of boring now because I want to give it a 3 again. So then I think it was like a year later, I decided to get my second cartilage done. So I went to a different piercing place, I remember this time. This one I do really recommend. I've always had a really good experience there. It's called Tribe and it's in Edinburgh. I'll link them below if you're interested. I think this one was like £15 and I just got a silver hoop in it. Yeah, I obviously have a stud in it. Now, I think it's the lower one. That one took a while to heal. I think it was honestly over a year. It didn't get infected or anything, it was okay, but it just was a pain. Cartilages, the ones that are very much on the outer bit of your ear, I feel like are the worst to sleep on. Honestly, don't have much to say about that one. Gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in terms of pain. Also, just for the record, 5 out of 5 does not mean like deathly painful. That would be a 10 out of 10. Just really, really uncomfortable. Then I got my third done. This, I think, was like shortly after I got my second cartilage. This is just like filler now. Nothing exciting, nothing I hadn't had before. I think I went to Tribe again to get these done. I think it was like £30 because I got jeweled studs. Yeah, so in terms of pain, I'm gonna give it, actually, I remember it was like a 3 out of 5. For some reason, it was so sore. I was like, oh, it's just another lobe. No, and because it was like 2 of them as well. So we did one and you obviously had to do the other. Yeah. But for the maybe like a year and a half that I had the third piercing was a fine experience, not too painful. However, it took ages to heal. And it was one of these situations where like I couldn't sleep on either side of my head. Then my most recent piercing. This is my conch. I just have this gold hoop in it from bodyjewellery.com. If that's wrong, I'll correct myself on the screen. I put this in really recently. In all seriousness, I shouldn't have because this piercing is only maybe 3-4 months old. What am I doing? It's probably been one of my most temperamental piercings, but I do really like it, especially with the new jewel in. And I feel like I've been through quite a bit with it that I'm like, just keep it in, just ooh. So I got this one done, like I said, 3-4 months ago. I went to the piercing place in Edinburgh that I'm not a fan of. A really bad experience this time. I think that's why it set this bad review in my head. The receptionist was really rude to me. She just stereotyped me. The actual piercer mucked up, so he pierced me and then he was like, oh, it's too close to your head, I'll have to do it again. Which is fair enough, people mess up, that's fine. But he didn't apologize or anything. He was just really like cold and blunt about it. Yeah, so I didn't have a very good time. So I got it pierced with a hoop. Obviously when you get a conch done with a hoop, you have to get a really big one in case of swelling. I have found that my ears hardly swell, and so that's why I was okay with getting a hoop. Yeah, that is the story of my conch. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Blah, blah, blah. That is all my piercings and all the little stories about me getting them done. So yeah, in terms of aftercare, I bought a saline solution from one of the tattoo parlors and I used that for a while. It was like £5 though, so I don't think you need to spend that much. I'm pretty sure you can use contact solution or I think warm water and salt, like sea salt, table salt. One of the salts works and you want to clean it twice a day. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. My future with piercings, I don't know if I will get any more. I think I'm set for now. Anyway, sending you all my love. Hope you have the best day, whatever you're up to. Bye for now.